All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Rotary Sunrise Wellness Talks, the official podcast of Rotary Club of St. Martin Sunrise. I'm your host, Gina Mamtani Mabubani, the president of the Rotary Club of St. Martin Sunrise, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all today. At Rotary, we believe in creating lasting impact, not only through service projects, but also through meaningful conversations that educate, inspire, and strengthen our communities. This podcast was created as a space where we can openly discuss topics that affect the lives and well being of people we serve. Our theme is Conversations for Healthier Minds and Stronger Communities, and each episode will explore issues that matter to our families, our youth, and community, while highlighting practical ways we support one another. Today, we're excited to launch the journey with a topic that touches many families across St. Martin and the wider Caribbean. Our first episode is titled Beyond the Suitcase, Preparing a Life Away from Home. Every year, many of our young people from our beautiful island leave to pursue higher education and new opportunities abroad. While this is an exciting milestone, it also brings challenges. Adjusting to new cultures, managing independence, coping with homesickness, building new relationships, and taking care of the mental and emotional well being. Whether you're a student preparing to leave, a parent supporting a child, or someone who has experienced this journey yourself, we hope today's conversation offers encouragement, practical guidance, and reassurance that no one has to navigate these changes alone. So, joining us today are two wonderful guests that bring valuable knowledge and experience to this important conversation. I would like to introduce Dr. Tameka Lambert. She was born and raised in St. Martin. She later moved to the United States to pursue her studies, earning her bachelor's degree in psychology, a master's degree in mental health counseling, and a doctorate in clinical psychology. After returning home, she began her career as a career guidance counselor, supporting students as they prepare to study abroad. This work was especially meaningful to her as she grew up with a strong connection to the field through her father, Calvin Mardenborough. I didn't know that. Who served for many years as head of study finance. Today, Dr. Tameka works as a clinical psychologist at the Mental Health Foundation, where she continues to support students and others with their emotional and psychological well-being. Welcome, Dr. Tameka.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Mr. Sigmund Cypre.
That's correct.
So, he was born and raised in St. Martin and is currently pursuing his graduate degree in psychology at Florida A&M University. As an added component to complement his studies, he is gaining valuable hands-on experience through a summer position at the Mental Health Foundation in St. Martin. Welcome,
Thank you for having
Mr.
me.
Simon. And we also have our Vice President of our Rotary Club of St. Martin Sunrise, Ms. Dolly Ahuja Sadarangani. So welcome. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so my first question, why is this topic so important, particularly for small island communities like St. Martin?
Okay. So to answer your question, the first aspect is oftentimes when students go abroad to study, whether it's the Netherlands or the United States or any neighboring island, we as students oftentimes focus on the academic aspect, pursuing our studies, whereas or maybe even the glitz and glams of visiting a new country. So they're so exciting at first. However, there are so many factors that we tend to neglect, such as adapting to a new culture, also being away from our parents, and how about not forgetting living independently.
And
Now,
the seasons.
right.
Don't forget that glooming winter.
Exactly. So in oftentimes because we so focus on the academic aspect of it and learning new things in regards to specifically maybe the new culture or the new place, we tend to forget and neglect various aspects, and oftentimes we kind of can get catch with our pants down And that is where a lot of times we can get a sense of confusion. So hence the reason it's important to prepare students for this topic so that we are better prepared in how to deal with these challenges when they arise.
Very good. Very good point. Anything from you, Simon?
Oh, can you repeat the question, please?
The question is, why is this topic so important for children coming out to St. Martin and in the Caribbean? You as a student, why do you think this topic is important?
I think it is important because I think parents and students should get the knowledge, information about where their kids are heading. Also, how to be prepared for it, not just like academically, but also mentally, physically, also.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So every year, many of our young people leave home to study abroad, right? But what are some of the biggest emotional challenges they face? What do you think are some of the biggest emotional challenges?
First I would say culture shock, a sense of aloneness, hopelessness. But at the same time, it's like as they leave, they will get like this excitement, like yeah, like I have like this I finally get this freedom. It's like I'm gonna be away from my parents, but at the same time, all those feelings is like just in the beginning. As time goes on, students tend to get they get lonely. They feel like they have nobody to talk to. They also have to like adapt to like the European culture or the American culture, which could be like a big change. So all these things like really plays a role in like someone's like mental health or like capability of whatever they have to do.
Definitely.
I also come from a small island, we come from a very culturistic culture where we are very family oriented, and oftentimes we tend to go up with that same mindset because we go on the airport with our friends, we're like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna check you this, and then after a while it's like nobody's around.
Exactly.
And I can only imagine if, for example, students that maybe study in the Netherlands, the time difference.
Yes.
You're accustomed to reaching home, talking to your parents, and your parents how your day was. By the time you reach home, they done sleeping. So it's a lot of different factors, especially having to go to a individualistic culture, whereas people are more independent. People don't really like check for you like that.
Exactly.
A lot of times you may want a ride down the road. Somebody asks you for gas money. You're like, huh? What is this? You have to accustom to those things. So then it's like, what is happening? So a lot of times, a lot of confusion that is just like, what is happening? And on top of that, you still have to focus on your studies. So it becomes very difficult, basically, like balancing the two.
balance, right? And another point I remember, maybe when I used to go to school in Canada, was we are so used to saying good morning to anyone here in St. Martin.
Exactly. They don't answer when you say good morning.
Over there, you tell them good morning, they'll be like, who be?
Who are you and why are you even talking to me?
Exactly.
Like oftentimes, like when I walk into class, sometimes you get class late. Usually as a Caribbean culture, you say good morning, everybody will just watch you like. No response. So it's also like to add on to what she just said, language barrier is a big thing.
Yeah. Even with our how we speak.
Yeah.
Sometimes people would be like, "But girl, what are you saying?"
Yes.
And it's just like, what am I saying? I thought I always spoke English.
I remember when my godson left for Canada, I kept telling him, I'm like, Isaiah, speak slowly. You have a tendency of speaking fast. They're not going to understand, So really slow down on your speak. So
and the dialect.
Yes.
We
Yes,
use
correct.
a lot
It's
of people,
true.
and
We talk in slangs.
and there's a little bit of a racism when they hear certain,
words, yeah.
words or the way you pronounce it. It's like, oh, somehow you are not as good as.
And it makes you feel less than,
yes.
because
Yeah.
we come from a small island where I say like a lot of times you feel like the dominant culture, so to speak, but then now you go into a big country and now you're the minority.
Yes.
And then how
you're
do you
lost.
And how do you
It's
now
like
deal
lost
with that?
in translation. Lost.
Yeah,
then
so
they
it's
cook-
very different. It's
And
very,
they're
very
cooking for the
different.
first time. They're cleaning because over here, all the children are spoiled. From what
Spoil
I've
your
seen.
parents with everything. So when
Yeah.
you leave, it's like, okay, you have to
Yeah.
be a big boy, big girl. You have to learn how to do this. You need to do that on your
And
own.
that's
so
why I tell parents you need to
teach
teach
them
them
from
from
now.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so let's talk about the emotions. I know we touched on it a bit. What emotions are considered normal during the first few weeks or months away from home?
I would say excitement. Because like you get to leave St. Martin, just like I got like a fresh start.
And freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
Yeah, everyone's
From
just
your
looking
parents.
for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But when it hits, when you're
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
And great, I got freedom. Now I got too much freedom. I don't know what to do.
Too much freedom with your money. How you gonna manage that?
Yeah.
You know?
I think that is a topic for a whole other podcast.
Uh-huh.
How to manage your money when you're
Right.
abroad.
right.
Okay. So anything else regarding emotions besides the excitement and the freedom?
I would say like probably like the first few weeks would be like excitement, then after would be like, okay, now reality hits. It's like now I have to be responsible for like myself. I got cook for myself, clean for myself, like focus on school. So like all these like emotions all in once could like build up.
Right.
And my dad oftentimes used to tell me when he used to travel with the students, he would oftentimes say, there's certain phases that every student goes through. And the first one is the honeymoon phase.
Yes.
Where everything feels like, wow, we're in a big country.
And then it hits.
And oftentimes you would have, I remember like when I reached America, I said, finally I'm going to live the American dream. And then after it's like reality kicked in, you realize, okay, what is America really about? America is not like the Caribbean.
Everyone thinks America is all glitz and glams,
right.
But it is not. It is not.
But even for example, in the Netherlands, you're accustomed to seeing sun all the time. Now you come to a place where you leave when it's dark, and then you come home when it's dark as well too.
Yes.
That is also not easy adapting
I know
to.
when I was in Canada, I got depressed in that winter weather. I mean, I love the cold, but it was dark and gray all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
and everyone is so far.
Yeah.
So even in those moments, how do you really deal with that?
So I changed. The first year I stayed up there for Christmas, never again. I came back home for Christmas. I would stay in the summer.
Wow.
But Christmas I had to be home.
My dad would oftentimes say it's the honeymoon phase, and he would say, okay, then it's the culture shock. Like that's when reality really kick in, like, wow, this is the place where I have to sit. And then he said, and eventually persons would oftentimes then adapt.
Yeah.
So after a while I was like, yeah, I need gas money, you want to ride, how much gas money, but in St.Martin, I know we ain't doing that. No. But it's like almost like you have to become like them to kind of fit in, because otherwise you would get hurt, because you're now treating people from a St.Martin mindset, but then people treating you completely different.
Exactly, and you're not used to that.
No, you're not used to it. So you find ways to kind of adjust into the culture.
Right. Okay, so many students feel pressured about succeeding academically. Yeah. We spoke about that. Yeah. While trying to fit into a new environment. How can they balance both?
Yeah. Okay. I think in general it's important to live a balanced life. I coach softball, and oftentimes the kids would be like, I can't come practice, coach, because I gotta study. I said, but you studying all day? It's very important to live a balanced life.
Yes.
You can't study all day. It's important to include your life and fluff it up in a sense that you do things that bring happy emotions to your body. But for each person, it matters differently. Yeah. You understand? If you enjoy playing sports, join a sports team. By joining a sports team, you also develop a sense of family from playing sports as well too. You go to the gym.
And you let off some steam too.
Let off the steam from the studies, because remember, the academics become a little bit more as well too. Yeah. So just as the academics and the stress become higher, you have to engage in activities to kind of like reset
and I
as
think
well
we
too.
Can teach them that from here.
Yeah.
So that they have that understanding of balanced life.
Yes.
For when they go up there.
So
a lot of practice, a lot of preparation can start from when they are here home.
Correct.
In plain sight, it's just like building a routine and just sticking to it. So like you don't be stuck and stagnant on one thing and on one emotion. You just move around. You keep going with the flow.
Yeah. And also, for me, my kids are both not here. I realized for them it was a lot of times being open enough to make new friends.
Yes.
But
very important.
You are not going to have you might have kids over here you big up when you're here. Or when they come for vacation, but when you're up there,
you're alone.
You have to make a new set of friends.
I feel like there's one thing as a St.Martin or a Caribbean person, like we don't know how to make friends.
Exactly.
We stick to our friends that we know from small.
Yeah.
And then now with this whole social media thing, that's a whole different ball game of they're not used to interacting.
Correct. Everyone is on their phone and just talk over for one another.
And that I think will be another episode.
No, but you really come to realize, especially being in a big country like that, like you really have to depend on your resources and persons around you in order to manage. Because your parents can do so much from where they are as well too.
Exactly.
But I think
far away.
Very far away.
Yeah. I think this ties in with the next question. Loneliness is something many students experience.
Yeah.
What are healthy ways that they can build a support system? So we mentioned sports and making friends.
Finding a routine. Also, like colleges, university also have like these guidance council. Like finding information about talking to like a friend, always reaching out to a parent. I feel like that's like the most important thing. If a student is having like a low mood or low energy or like stop doing what they used to do, I feel like that's when they should like actually reach out to like those resources.
Right.
Instead of like having it built in.
Yeah, and even like some schools even have like international clubs.
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
I remember I had
very
one.
important,
I
and
was
that
in
helps
one
a lot.
Yes, yes. That's when you hear your similar music. When I heard soca,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I feel like home. I thought I was home. So
Yeah.
yes, it's very
Yeah.
important to, engage with the international community there too.
Even if you're religious.
Yeah.
You know, I met people from the church sometimes that they would treat me as if they're my family member. I don't even know the people I'm from Adam. You know,
Yeah.
but that helped me to feel like, okay, I had a family in abroad.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
but they did having that church support really helped me a lot.
It makes a difference.
It does. It does.
So again, this leads into the next question.
Mm-hmm.
What daily habits help maintain good mental health while living away from home? So yes, church,
Yeah.
church base.
I would say like ensure to have some form of connection to your roots as to who you are as a person. You know, for example, I know different things matter to different people. So for me, one thing was talk to my mom every day, even if it's just for
Yes.
5 minutes.
Yes.
You understand? I know I would see some of my parents would have this big flag of St.Martin on the wall, and I'm like, wow, where is it connected to St. Martin? You know? I also would have like cards of, for example, like family members and loved ones who like wrote messages for me, and I would have it like stuck on my wall to help me
Okay.
stay connected to
Yes.
those individuals.
So when I studied, as soon as I reached the room, I put up all cards from my friends, pictures. When my roommate came in, she thought a Canadian was her roommate. The amount of things I had in the room
Wow.
with all pictures and posters of my friends back
Yeah.
home. So
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good point. You need to make your space yours and
Yeah.
and put home things there.
Yeah,
Put
yeah.
pictures from home.
Yeah. And
All right. Mhm.
and also don't forget having a reset, like it's like a toolkit. You know, it's like having like a reset. Okay, when you feel overwhelmed and stressed, you are able to go in that toolkit and, for example, have like certain mantras, certain things that
I love this, Dr. Tameka, because that's my next question.
okay,
If you can
okay.
give every student leaving St. Martin a mental health survival kit, what would be in it?
It would definitely be tools on how to budget, you know, because when you remember we're customers seeing this, and then when you go into a world this big, it's like, how do I manage my wants, my needs over my wants? You know, so a reminder in how to budget myself. So a budget, something specifically with budgeting. I would also say, do you have anything to add?
I would say try not go in with like high expectations.
Yeah.
Meaning having room to fail.
Yeah.
So like you don't like be too hard on yourself. I feel like that should be taught here on the island, not when you go up.
Yeah.
I feel like parents should like speak with the kids on like how to manage the emotion instead of just focusing on academics. I feel like that's
And I
like
think
the
that's a
main-
very important
it
point.
is, yeah.
Because they go with that peer pressure that, oh, I need
Correct.
to succeed.
Yeah.
I need to make my parents proud.
Yeah.
I think our parents need to let them know no matter what you do, we are proud.
Yeah.
It's like mental reminders.
Yes.
Correct. And
Yeah.
plus like
Very
parents
important.
should also give positive feedback to the kids. Even if they pass or fail. Just like let them know like how they're doing. Like
Yeah.
tell them like they're doing a great job either way.
And also like resources. You know, sometimes we wait until something happened to try to figure things out.
Yeah.
You understand? I remember I was on a highway and I got a flat tire. I'm like, oh my goodness, like who do I call? So I called my mom because that's the only person I had in my phone. And it's only then I found out about AAA and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, like if I just had that at hand,
Yes.
I knew what to do. You know,
Okay.
I could have better resolved that issue.
Definitely.
You know, so it's like a toolkit of various resources that you can have in case something happened.
Perfect.
What can I turn to?
Exactly.
You
You
need
know?
to write a book on how to be an adult between 18 and 21.
Literally, you know, and I know as students, you know, you also want to live your best life, but you know, also on a budget. So I think also would be in that kit is also what are different little coupon, little things that can
Learn
help
to
you.
use coupons because it's
Right.
in Martin, we don't use coupons.
No, but up there you can benefit from
Yes.
so much various coupons, you know. But also like who are people that you can like reach
O2, yep.
out to.
Yeah.
Not only in St. Martin, but also there
Exactly.
as well too. So I would definitely have like a couple of those resource friends in my pocket because they know the best. They live there.
Exactly.
You know, so who's the best person to get information from?
So make your resource list, make your toolbox kit.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. I hope some of our students are listening and, taking this in. So we have more questions, but because time is running out, last question. What message would you like to give to every young person leaving St. Martin to remember? What's your message?
For me, I would say enjoy it. Enjoy St. Martin as you leave, because as you go is like a whole new world. It's like a whole new realm like you're stepping into. But also don't be hard on yourself. Know that like it's okay to fail. Like it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So like also like keep dreaming big. Just know you come from a small place. Even though you're going away and you meeting new people, that don't make you less than. You just as like as important as them. Even though like they're from there. So like that what I would say to like whoever listening, the kids who are listening.
Awesome.
And what I would say is, studying abroad is not only about your academics. It's also about finding who you are as a person. And it's not about, there's no right or wrong in this experience, you know. It's mainly about what do I learn and how do I grow and how do I become who I want to be. Not who my parents want me to be, not who government of St. Martin expect me to be, but who do I want to be and stand true in that.
Finding yourself.
Yeah.
Dolly, anything to add?
Honestly, sometimes it has to be acceptance from both sides.
Yeah.
Kids are also trying to do their new thing. Parents have this still mindset that they want their child to be a child. They need to accept that their children are also growing up. It's a two-way
Exactly,
street.
yeah, I
As
agree.
they are growing, even the parents need to be like, now they're adults. I need to
Exactly.
treat them like adults. And sometimes just that, knowing that your kids are making the right decisions in life, that gives them that strength, the
Confidence for sure.
to
Yep.
be adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes as parents we keep the kids down and you're like,
That's why I always say like is okay for parents to let their kids like fly free. Like
Give them
just throw
the
them out.
autonomy. Give them the
Yes.
autonomy.
Yeah, like-
and trust the
And
foundation
start
you've
from
instilled in
here
them.
because, start that freedom from here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they can have a taste of it. And
Exactly.
they're going to make mistakes.
It's bound to
Allow
happen.
those
It's part of the
mistakes.
process.
That's how you're going to learn, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So we're ending up. Here's a lightning round. One piece of advice you wish someone had given you when you were 18.
It's okay to feel, because I'm very hard on myself. So learning that took me a while to learn, but yeah, I would say that one for me.
Okay. Dr. Tameka.
College would be the best years of your life. So make it worth it. Make every second worth it.
Yes, yes. I think I'll go with yours too. Perfect. All right, audience, thank you so much for joining us on this very first episode of Rotary Sunrise Wellness Talks, conversation for healthier minds and stronger communities, the podcast of Rotary Club of St. Martin Sunrise. We hope today's conversation has encouraged, informed, and inspired you, especially you teenagers that are leaving. If you know a student or family preparing for this exciting new chapter in their life, please share this episode with them. Together, we can create a community where no young person feels that they have to face life's transition alone. Until next time, we will be here with part 2 of this topic because we didn't finish all the questions. And it will be the parents' perspective and also answer some questions that may come up from our recording. So take care of your mind, support one another, and remember that every conversation about mental health matters. Thank you.